Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the laundromat. We're checking quarters. We're going to see if we had a bad or a good week. Easter weekend was not good for our change machine, which means we may not have much money in these machines. So we'll count them up. We'll show you how we did this week compared to the last few months and see if things are good or bad, and talk about a few other things with the laundromat as well and our plans to improve it. We will be counting quarters soon. We're in the laundromat, not sure how much is going to be in these machines. There wasn't much after Easter. I don't feel like I've seen as many people on the cameras, but I've been wrong before. And as you can see now, a lot of the machines are going. So that could be a good sign. Who knows? Of course, we'll check the pop machine, vending machine, soap machine, and we'll see what's in the change machine first, because that's often a good indication of what will be in the washers and dryers. So we'll see what's in here. I've taken money out of here twice this week already, so there won't be a lot gone. I'm hoping there's like a quarter of the boxes gone. No, there's not. So this could definitely be a slow week at the laundromat. That is not much in there at all. Because that should be 2 days worth. And then, boy, really slow here. Maybe everybody already had quarters, and so they didn't have to get any for the machines. We shall see. So I'm starting with our vending machine first, and I believe it's not jammed, which is amazing. I feel like it's been jamming every week because people are putting pennies in there, foreign coins, sometimes paper clips, but that's not bad, and that's not a bad amount of money either. So we'll see how it does. It's always hard putting quarters into bags and different stuff with one hand, and I really like using my phone better than the Insta360 camera I got. It's just a lot easier on many fronts, but not bad. We'll check the pop machine and soap machine too. This one has also had a tendency to jam, but lately has been working pretty well. There's still a bunch of quarters down at the bottom, so I must not have got my coin box in there quite right, but that's not horrible either. Again, the pop machine, the vending machine don't make a ton of money. The soap machine doesn't make a ton of money either. It's just nice supplemental income and really more of a bonus for the people using the laundromat than any kind of big money maker. The machines are definitely where most of the money is, so that's fine. That's a decent amount. And we had almost nothing last week, so that's probably a lot better than last week. Again, it's not super important, but we'll put that in there, see what we have, and then we'll check the machine. Big money. So this first machine should tell us a lot about how we're going to do this week. I'm not real optimistic, but I've been wrong before, so we'll see. There's an orange quarter, but that's definitely less than we've had last week. And then the week before that, we did a 2-week coin count, so that was a little hard to figure, but I'm thinking this is going to be a down week. And we really haven't had a down week at this laundromat for a long time. Our sales have been very steady, very consistent. Yeah, that's not very much either. So it could just be Easter. We definitely do a big chunk of our sales on on the weekend. So for example, we usually take out from $600 up to $750 out of the change machine each weekend, and usually we take out $1,200 to $1,400 for the whole week. So we pretty much do almost half of our sales on the weekend. And this last weekend, we took out $441 out of the change machine, which was the least amount we've taken out in a very long time. So if we had a down weekend, it would be pretty tough for us to catch up during the week. So maybe it means this next week will be just awesome, because a lot of people who weren't doing laundry last weekend are doing laundry this weekend, since it's not a holiday. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But yeah, looking at the quarters, looking at what we're seeing here, definitely not setting any records, and we might have our worst week in a while. Make sure I've got every single quarter in that bucket. Because, well, that's a little bit better. But yeah, last week we did, let me get out my chart, $937 from the washers, $309 from the dryers, $13 in the sew machine, $12 in the pop machine, $21 in the vending machine. We had $1,300 total. And the weeks before that, we had $1,313, $1,313. Those were the 2 weeks combined, so it could have been plus or minus each week, but we averaged them out. $1,300, $1,419, $1,165, $1,200, $1,283. So it's been very consistent. In fact, the last month we had below $1,000 was back February 1st. We had $987 total. The first week of February, I should say, not February 1st. So we shall see, I guess, what next week has. Unless there's some miracle and there's just gobs full of quarters in the giant big machines, I don't think we're coming close to what we've been doing normally. And even these, yeah, not a lot in there. I am doing a voiceover again. I'm sorry, there were people in here. Even though we're having a down week and there's not much change in machines, there were still a couple people in the laundromat. So if we're going to have a down week, at least they could not be there while I'm there and I could do my voiceover, which I know a lot of people prefer, but then also saves me time because I can kill two birds with one stone by doing my voiceover while I'm doing the recording and not have to go back and do it over again, which I'm doing right now. And I don't think it's very nice to kill birds either. I don't know about that saying, but anyway, that's okay. I know. Yeah, there's just, oh, I got my finger in the way. Try so hard not to do that. And holding your phone like this while with one hand while doing the coin boxes does actually get tiring after a while because I'm holding it real careful, trying not to get my finger in the way, in kind of the same position for a very long time, and I'm trying to use the keys and pull the cart. So this is very physically demanding work. I don't think people realize that. And we are going to move that 50-pound machine up front. I'm not sure when. One thing we need to make sure we have is the proper electrical and stuff up here, but we should be able to bring it over even from the other spot if we don't, because the 50-pounder that's out of order is out of order because the concrete's broken, and these front machines do so much better. I mentioned if they have gobs and gobs of money in them, we might do better. There's a lot in there. There's a lot more than the other machines, but it's definitely not as much as we've had in there before. So I don't think we're going to come close to breaking a record. It's going to be a matter of seeing how poorly we did instead. Decent, but again, nothing close to what we brought in other times. So we'll see what we've got, but not looking like a stellar week. And we will have down weeks, and that's something to understand. There will be ups and downs. Holidays can make things tricky. There's all kinds of things that can affect it. People talk about when people get paid. That can affect it. Dryers, not much there. The lower ones always have less than the upper ones, though. The lower boxes are on the right, the upper ones on the left. So there you go. Way more in the top one. We did get some of these machines fixed, so that feels good. It just goes so slow to get stuff done. I know part of that's my fault because I have too many things going on at once with our flips, our rentals, laundromats, liquor store. I've got a real estate brokerage. There's a lot of different things happening. And so if I was only doing laundromats, if that was my only job, that's all I did, I know we'd have a lot of this stuff done sooner, but I don't. So you can blame me. You can say I'm not doing a good job, but I'm still probably just going to keep doing what I'm doing and say, sorry, we'll try and do better. But we'll get we've been getting a lot of stuff done. And actually, I did a Facebook post on the laundromat talking about the parking situation and how even though the lot looks busy because the DMV is here, we still have plenty of space for people. And a few people commented and said, hey, it's really nice. We really like going there, which was cool. And the one person asked, hey, did you fix all the broken machines and is it cleaner than it used to be? So that felt good too, because when we bought it, there were a lot of broken machines. I didn't know it was dirty or anything like that, but we fixed so many of them. And every time I go to laundromats, so many of them have broken machines. I actually went to a new one that had some really old machines, and Nikki was with me. She hates going into other laundromats, but I force her to do it sometimes. And she's like, you know what? They didn't have any out of order signs. They must do a better job repairing stuff. And I'm like, I don't know about that. So then I checked the reviews on Google, and they were not good. And most of them said the machines don't work, they don't heat, they don't spin. So they still had broken machines. They just decided not to put out of order signs on them. So people use them and lose their money, and then they get really mad and don't go back. So I think it's much better to have out of order signs and at least be honest with people about what's going on. So again, this is okay in the dryers. It's not a record, but I feel like the dryers actually, well, except for that one, might have more money in them than the washers, and we'll see the sales chart and look at all that now. Not very heavy. Heavy, but not as heavy as it has been. So I lied. I'm not going to show you the sales chart right now. We're going to count the quarters. And I did get a new toy from suggestions from people, and I forgot to start my camera soon enough. But that's 126 for vending. That's actually more than we've had for a while. And then we're doing the soap machine now. Or maybe this is a pop machine. This could be the pop machine. There didn't feel like a whole lot in there. I know there's some dimes in there, so I'm holding my hand there to try and catch them. And there's a dime flying around the middle of that coin thing too, which also will fly out over there. So, and I think a dime flew into my quarter bucket as well. But there's 50 some cents. I know, we never get an even number in the pop machine, even though it's supposed to be $1. We always have random amounts. I don't think we've ever actually had an even dollar amount with the pop machine. So I don't know if those quarters just disappear or fall down into the abyss somewhere, or if it doesn't always charge a full amount. I don't know. Here's the soap machine. I did look into some more coin counters or different coin counters, trying to figure out what other people use. And actually I saw Brandon with Investment Joy, who does a lot of laundromat and car wash stuff, and I was talking to him on his live, and he said, see, there's my new toy, which is way, way smaller than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like a giant ice scooper, and it's like a tiny one. But it works. Sorry, what I was trying to say is Brandon said he might be getting a coin, I don't know if it's a coin counter or just a coin sorter, that will sort rare and expensive coins. So I don't know how it does that. I don't know how it tells, if it's by weight or if it's looking for silver coins or what. But that would be really cool to have too. So he said it's not even like been manufactured yet. So, but he gets all kinds of cool stuff because his YouTube channel's got well over 1 million subscribers and has a lot more people watching. But I'm working on that. So if anybody is not subscribed right now and you want to subscribe and get us closer to 1 million, that'd be awesome. I know we've got a ways to go, but we can do it. Just like these quarters. And this is the dryer, by the way, the dryer money. And so my record is like 1,300 quarters. 800 quarters would be $200. That's kind of the bare minimum I'd like to see. So at least we got to $200. That would have been pretty disheartening if I was below that. So again, it's not a record, but we're definitely going backwards a little bit on the charts, which is how sales charts work. So there's our dryer money, my quarters that fell on the ground that get spit out by the machine because it thinks they're fake quarters even though they're real quarters. And then let's do the washer money and see how much we have there. So just out of curiosity, that was, let me do some math here while I think in my brain. How many, oh yeah, I remember how many quarters it was now. Hold on a second. See, I'm cheating because I'm doing my voiceover so I can remember what there was. How many quarters? Oops. And actually, last week I did my video, that's when I bought that ice scooper. And maybe I should pay more attention to what I buy and not be multitasking and shopping while I do my voiceover. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, that bucket weighed 37.5 pounds right there. That's what I was trying to figure out. So that's your hint for how much it ends up being. And the scooper does work way better. I was spitting quarters out though, out the side, and then they're dropping into my bucket, so I know there's some that didn't quite get counted. And then, yeah, if I'm careful with how I dump the quarters in there, my coin counter does good. It's when I get in a hurry and get too fast that it does bad. And here I am trying to stop the quarters from falling off the side, and then I just make a bigger mess, which is usually how this all works. So, yep, there we go. No, don't worry. We got this. I should have had my camera set up so you can see the bucket better. That's always fun to see the bucket fill up. Next time I'll try and make sure I do that. Usually I either have the camera too high or too low. I mess up something. That's okay. It's better to have tried and failed than not try at all is my motto. Which is a good thing that's my motto. So that's almost 1,500 quarters that I'm dumping all over still, as you can see. 1,600 is $400. So we're over 400 again. That's not that great because our record is $1,014 in quarters is our record, which is over 4,000 quarters. So I knew we weren't going to get there or even close to it. One, because it weighed a lot less than it usually does, and two, because when I got, to this point, I had way less than half my bucket left. So at this point, we're just hoping to get to like 3,000, maybe 3,200, which would be 800 in quarters, which would still be okay. But yeah, dumping quarters. And usually I speed this process up and do like triple speed, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But since I got my fancy new scoop, I figured I'd just do it in regular speed, and then you could listen to my clever commentary while I do it. And sometimes multitask and look up other statistics. And now it's getting close to almost being done, which again is like, ooh, I wish I had more quarters. But it's still fun. And people ask me why I don't just weigh them. I could just weigh them. It would be very easy. But I do like counting them. I like seeing the numbers go up. I like seeing them go in the bucket. I like hearing all the noises for some reason. It's fun for me. And $29.98. But like I said, I know at least a couple of quarters went in there that popped out the side and didn't get counted. So we should be right around 3,000. All right. Now we get a look at the sales numbers and see what that totals up to be. No records, definitely worse than we've had the last few weeks. We get to see how much worse it is. So if anybody's out there who's been rooting for us to fail and do poorly, this is a good week for you to watch. And I try not to do that with other people. I try to think we can all win. But I know there's some people out there. And some of you are awesome at helping with my engagement too. So if you want to comment about how poorly I did, your comments are always welcome as well. All right, now we're getting closer. So that was our record right there, March 1st. I was kind of thinking April, the first week in April might be a record too, because that's what happened last time, but maybe Easter is just that bad. Really flat curve there because we counted 2 weeks at the same time because I was on vacation. And there we go, 1,072 total. 750 from the washers, 257 from the dryers, 31 from the vending, which is actually more than we have had, 24 from soap, which is a little more, pop 925, about the same. So we did have a down week, but it's really not as bad as our down week a couple of months ago in February. And we've had some really good weeks and steady increasing sales. So hopefully it's just kind of a pullback before we go even higher. At least that's what we'll say. And it'll be interesting to see if this weekend is way busier or not. If this weekend is not busy, then it's like, ooh, did we do something wrong? Did we chase away some customers? What is going on? What happened? I have my phone number up for people to call. It's not my phone number. It's a Google number they can call and text, and it sends an email to me right away. It says, hey, you got a text message or a voicemail. I have not had any of those all week. So people have not been complaining. Either that or my phone number's broken and I'm not responding to people, and maybe that's the issue. But even then, the lady who cleans for us is often there all the time, and she relays issues or problems to me too, because a lot of people will tell her if something's wrong. So we can check on that. One thing I just remembered, I don't think this would have too much impact, but maybe. Someone was there the other day and said they tried to come in at 7:30 a.m. and the doors were locked. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, the time changed. And when the time changed, we probably didn't change our door settings. But I looked at the door settings and they were correct. They were right. So I still bumped it up an hour earlier. So I kind of figured we should leave the doors open a little bit earlier and a little bit later than our closing times. So if people do get there a little early, they can still get in. We just don't want people over there real late. And then if people are stuck in there after closing time, the doors do lock, but there's a button they can press so they can still get out. They're not stuck in there. We did have one person who called and was confused. We told them, hey, just press the button right there and you're out in there. Oh, okay, thank you. So we do lock the doors at night because we have so many stories about different things happening with 24/7 laundromats. And we've avoided a lot of those, but there's still some issues. So who knows? Maybe our hours in the door locking too late was part of it, or unlocking. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens next week. We'll see how this weekend goes. We'll probably have a short at the start of next week telling you how the weekend goes like we normally do. And of course, we love to hear your comments, love to hear what you think, love to hear your ideas. I do listen once in a while, like getting my little ice scoop, so it's not like I don't pay attention, but I don't listen to all of you and all your ideas. I'm sorry. That would be crazy if I did everything. All right, thanks for watching. Be back soon.